I was thinking also about something silly, and I don't normally talk about this stuff because it can get kind of lost in the sauce a little bit. Um, and I like to do the best I can to remain objective and logical. Not that I'm an overly analytical thinker, but because I know I need it. It's hard for me to anchor myself and get lost in my own daydreamy little mind, right? And so I always try to balance that with objectivity and logic. And what I was thinking about is the law of attraction and democracy. And the law of attraction and like the whole idea of manifesting is an interesting one, because if you look at it through self-governance terms and psychology terms, it's all about, you hear the phrase a lot, you get what you voted for. Well, it kind of almost sounds the same as attention grows where attention goes. I think that's how you say it. And not to say that we don't grow or outgrow certain things, but it's almost like we took all the really challenging, bad and difficult things and put them in the front seat. And maybe that's because there's a time for it. But don't be afraid to process that on a personal level, and then also see those changes on a democratic and more collective level too. Because democracy to me seems to be all about a group effort to experience the dominant version of what we are all thinking and feeling, and lets that run the show. Sounds a lot like the concept of manifesting or just self-governance. And it just seems like democracy is all about putting that power into the hands of the people, which I've always felt is the best way to do things. Because if we don't put in the unique voices of each person, we miss out. Yeah, we can get some bad stuff coming up that ends up at the top and all in our faces. But at the same time, if we don't take advantage of the best of what democracy has to offer, we miss out on the fact that it does work. And yeah, there's a lot of issues. There's been a lot of suspected issues with interference and stuff, but at its base, it still works. We miss out on the opportunity for the good that it can bring, like the different voices that we can bring to the forefront. I have faith in it, especially considering its history here in America long before the United States was founded. And I recommend you look that up too. There's a lot of interesting information about indigenous peoples in America and the way they ran their own governments, and how it has been an inspiration for the way American democracy was founded. And it gave me a lot of assurance. So, put your vote, your attention, where you want it to go. Obviously, deal with the issues that are at hand. We are always growing and changing, but don't forget to also put your ears, your heart, your mind, your attention where you want it to go. The very best of it, and open yourself up to all the good that it can be, and all the contributing voices that participate in this thing we call democracy. And don't be afraid to also accept new concepts of what that can be too. Because at the core of it, I just want everyone to be at peace and feel safe existing and be happy. Have a good night.